Hello my friends, and welcome back to another Brotato Danger 5 random run, where we take a random character, random weapon, and try to beat Danger 5 with it. Hope you're all doing well. So, with only 10 characters remaining, I am going to, once again, use the wheel, and we have an absolute murderer's row for our remaining 10 characters, a bunch of really difficult characters left, so let's see what we get. We've got the Technomage, which is probably the easiest character on the list here, and still a pretty difficult one, so really interesting that we've ended up with so many tough characters right at the end. Technomage, of course, has a challenge with some of these weapons, because while you get extra economy from the turrets, you lose out on XP gain, which can be very difficult with a slow-to-start weapon. Let's roll and see what we've got, and we've got the Plank. I can't remember if I've done that, let me check. And we have not, so let's jump in with the Plank. Now, I'm not really happy with this weapon for the Technomage. I think that this is a relatively weak weapon overall, and doesn't benefit a lot from the unique mechanics of this character. Let's go kill this tree, and our turrets can clean up some of these enemies as well while we're killing the tree. So we did make extra money in the opening wave, and we got a crate, which is awesome. That crate containing a structure is amazing for the Technomage, because of course every structure we have gives us 2 elemental damage, which will scale the damage of our planks. So that landmines is maybe the single best thing we could have found. Let me roll here. I definitely want to pick up some harvesting if I can. I'm going to roll a few times. I'm going to roll one more time because we ended up with a decent amount of money. I missed every time on harvesting, but attack speed is also really important for planks. This is a very slow attacking weapon that scales primarily with planks, so with attack speed, so we want to pick up more of them. It also scales with more planks because we get explosion size and elemental damage, so finding more of them is also really important. Snake I could buy. Obviously, if we find Scared Sausage, that's incredible for this character, and burning effects are really good. If we don't find it, though, the snake is completely useless, so I'm going to pass on it here. It's very early to buy an item that does actually nothing. And unfortunately, I am 1 material short of being able to reroll and buy another plank here. So actually what I could have done, I didn't even think of this, is I could have bought the coupon, then bought the plank, and then re-rolled, because that would have saved me 1 material, because of the way the rounding works. So actually, that would have been better if I had bought the coupon. Normally, you don't want to buy coupon early, because getting your weapons online is more important, but we could have got it sort of effectively for free. Here, though, I am just going to re-roll until we can lock another plank, so that was an interesting little breakpoint with the materials there. Letting my turret take care of some of these enemies. You want to play where the enemies will be pulled across the turret so they can help you kill stuff. Though less important for an AoE weapon like this, because our attacks, 1 attack can hit multiple enemies. So it's not like there being 3 enemies stacked up together makes it slower for us to kill them. We'll take a plank here and then reroll, grab another one, and then reroll. Again, we're 1 material short of being able to try to lock a 6th plank, which of course we would want to do. It's kind of fun that in both of these runs, the Abyssal Terrors run and the Crash Zone run, we've ended up with some really tough characters at the end. Probably more fun than if we'd ended up with, like, Loud and Well-Rounded and whatever as our last couple characters. I guess I shouldn't have tried to kill that Curse Alien. I thought I would be able to get it, but I was just like 1 or 2 damage short of killing it there at the end. So, unfortunate, did cost me some money and also meant that I didn't pick up that many materials this wave. I'm going to reroll here and pick up some harvesting. Harvesting is important for this character, as it is for every character, but for Technomage especially, because with our XP gain reduction, we need to get levels, and harvesting is one of the ways we can do that. Of course, finding XP gain items is also really important for this character. I'm going to reroll here and take 5 more harvesting. Snowball is awesome for the Technomage, because we are going to buy as much elemental damage as we can, so we're going to pick this up. We'll see if this item actually does anything. So frequently, it ends up disappointing me. But this is an amazing shop. So I'm going to take the bag, I think, over the coffee. I think that the likelihood of dropping a crate is high enough that it's better than the attack speed. And then we're going to roll a couple times. I'm going to roll one more time because I really want to find another plank. Getting these weapons fully stacked for both of the bonuses is really important. And plank, it doesn't level that well, but it is important to level because you get additional damage scaling on both of the damage types, so you can end up being able to actually kill things with this weapon if you level it up. It's in a funny position, this weapon, because it levels quite poorly in that you don't get that much per level, but because of hitting breakpoints, you end up getting a lot more benefits out of leveling it than it looks like it's going to. Here, we're going to keep re-rolling, though I think I will just take 2 elemental damage. I could take 4 melee damage as well, which will scale the damage of my weapons better, but elemental damage gives us structure attack speed, which also matters a lot, and helps scale the damage of the planks anyways. We will buy all of these items and then do a re-roll, definitely taking a book. Still not finding a 6th plank, which is causing me some concern. I also need to get some max HP and some armor and regen very soon. This character, of course, is using a slow attacking melee weapon and has very low natural health gain because we gain levels slower than other characters. So we need to fix our defensive stats as quickly as we can. One thing that we do have going for us, though, is that Technomage can really struggle with Elite, especially with a very slow weapon like the Plank. But our first 2 boss waves are Horde waves, so we got a little fortunate there. Here, I'm going to reroll, and I could take more elemental damage, I could take max HP, I could take armor. Move speed also is fairly appealing. Honestly, any of these 4 stats would be good. I probably would take luck or harvesting over them, but I think I'm just going to take 6 max HP here, because playing at 15 max HP is very dangerous. We'll take a book and a landmines, and then reroll. Power Generator and Sharp Bullet are both pretty interesting. So Power Generator doesn't do anything yet, but we're going to buy movement speed, so it'll be pretty strong. Sharp Bullet is great with our 2 turrets. It does cost me 5% damage, but the turrets benefit so much from it that we're going to pick it up. We'll take a jelly as well, because I need to buy some HP, so even at a very high premium, it's worth buying. And then Treasure Map is great. Cauldron is also really good for this character. I'm going to do one more reroll here for 9. This is very expensive, but this is our last wave where we're guaranteed a weapon. Okay. Finally. Our last wave where we're guaranteed to see a weapon, and I really wanted to get another plank. So that reroll for 9 for only 1 slot, obviously not exactly where you want to be, but that's just what we had to do for the position we were in. So I've gotten up to 22 HP, which is not great, but is fine. And we still have 0 armor, 0 dodge, 0 regeneration, so that's probably our next step. Our clear speed is okay, because even though we're using a relatively weak weapon, we've got all these turrets and landmines, which are helping us out. And the landmines are benefiting from the bonus explosion size from having an explosive weapon, so that's really nice. Here, I think I'm going to just take 5 luck. I could pick up an elemental damage or some HP, or reroll to try to get something better. But with 0 luck, we're not that likely to get a better stat anyways. Or a higher level stat anyways. No value from Snowball so far, by the way. So let's reroll here. Weird Food is a great help. That's an incredible find for increasing our healing. And yeah, I'll take another Fertilizer. I'll also take both Cog and Whistle. These are really nice for us also. Because we're using a relatively weak weapon, so I think that my turret on the right there will kill that egg. So nope, I was wrong. I guess I should have run over and tried to kill the egg. But we do have enough damage to kill the big slashers. Sometimes, at least. Although that healer got these two a lot of extra HP, so it made them much slower to kill. I need to make sure I'm focusing on the healer enemies here. So no healing is definitely putting us under a lot of pressure in this spot. Let's see if we can kill this. Single target damage is not our forte, but we did get it before the end of the wave, which is great. And we made 278 materials. Finding all these fertilizers has been awesome. This is a really solid help to the character. 3 armor is also an incredible find. We're really happy with that. And I'll take a level 4 damage upgrade with only 5 luck. That is very unlikely. Although, do I want a level 3 speed upgrade instead? We have negative movement speed and a power generator locked in the shop. Without the power generator, I wouldn't consider this. But this is half the damage, but we also get 9 speed. I think I'm going to take the speed upgrade. That's a really interesting spot. I don't know if that's right, but it feels like getting value out of the power generator and fixing our movement speed with only 1 selection is actually worth taking a lower level upgrade there. We'll take the cog here. Whistle I'll pick up as well. Sunglasses I think we're going to pass on. While Plank does critically hit pretty well, we just can't afford to buy stuff like critical hit. There's so many stats that we need. Tree we're definitely taking, and I'll upgrade my planks. I'm going to take the pencil also, of course, and then reroll and lock another plank. Finally getting to upgrade these is really important. Every time I start wave 8, I take a hit off the first charger, and then it drops no money. It feels targeted at this point. So, again, I have no natural healing currently, so I really need to find some regen. Because I'm starting to be under a lot of HP pressure, thanks to our relatively weak weapon. Currently have very solid clear speed, but very poor defenses, so I just need to fix my defensive stats, and then we'll be in much better shape. And also stop walking into every enemy in the field. That 3 armor that we got earlier really saved us there, by the way. We'll take a plank, we'll take a pencil. I'm going to pass on bone dice. I do need more damage, but this is going to take a long time to pay off. And we already have a bunch of items that are long-term investments that are not paying off yet. Things like power generator and snowball. So we're going to pass on those and try to find better items overall. Pencil, I'm definitely taking. Head injury, I want. With no healing, I don't think I can afford the weird ghost. Do I want Triangle of Power? So, this character is going to struggle to not take damage, but 20% damage is very powerful for us. And armor is good. And if we lose a lot of damage by taking hits, it's sort of okay because a bunch of our damage is coming from the turrets and landmines anyways, so I think we do want Triangle of Power on this character. I need more attack speed to make that a decent option. But we need more attack speed before we fight the Horde waves anyways. But with our percent damage as low as it is, Triangle of Power is very impactful for the opening parts of a wave. And we hope that we will find a few more constructs as well, which means that our reliance on damage is going to be lower. That loot alien spawned right at the end of the wave, so there was no chance I was going to be able to kill it. Obviously, we'll take this pencil. Honey is an amazing find for us. Yes, it costs me move speed, which costs me percent damage, but the explosion damage and size is great for this character. Range is actually a little more interesting on Plank than most other weapons, because Unlike other weapons, when you increase the range, it also increases the single target damage of the planks, because how plank works, of course, is it has a chance to explode when you hit an enemy with it, and if you hit multiple enemies, it can explode multiple times, and those explosions can layer on top of those multiple enemies for extra damage to each of them. So range is more valuable for plank than just about any other weapon. That said, maybe engineering or attack speed is still better, or rolling for a better stat. I think overall I just want a higher level upgrade. Yeah, and we got 9 max HP, which is way better. And then here, I could take the crit chance, I could take the range, but again, I'm going to roll and try to find a stat that we care about more. 9 speed and 9 damage, really good. I could get to positive regeneration, but I think we just gotta take attack speed. We're going into some Horde waves, and we're buying a Triangle of Power as well. We'll take that Triangle of Power, and we'll take a Mushroom. We now have positive regeneration. Alien Eyes, not worth it for this character. I'll take the Broken Mouth. We get to finally get our first Snowball trigger 20 waves later by buying this Boiling Water. Gonna roll here, and again, my HP, or my regen is just too bad to take Weird Ghost, which is really unfortunate. Dynamite is great. Tyler, of course, is great as well. Which of these do I want more? Dynamite, I think, is probably just going to be better for this next wave, because it's just so much damage. With a terribly slow attacking weapon like Plank, Decomposing Flesh is not that good, and Ugly Tooth, at the cost of damage as well, I think we're going to pass on it. We just really need weapons that help us or items that help us in the short term. Though Scar and Baby Gecko are both really good, even though they're a little bit more long-term, because the stats that we get from those are going to pay off really quickly. And the range from the Baby Gecko is also relevant, as we talked about already. The number one item that we're looking for, probably Fairy. Just anything that can help our healing would be really helpful. Pocket Factory, of course, would be amazing. Scared Sausage would be great as well, so we could use our elemental damage more effectively with our structures. Lots of items that would give us a pretty significant boost for this character. The Dynamite that we found is massive, and the Honey as well. That's letting us really clear these enemies much faster. Also, 2 Loot Aliens. We didn't have a lure or anything, so that those were just natural spawns. So very lucky there. Oh, 3? Can we get it? Yes! Okay, well. That was a great wave for us. This Campfire is amazing as well. It's all the stats that we need. And we get an extra elemental damage off it because we have a Snowball. Decomposing Flesh when it shows up for free. I still think we pass on this. The lifesteal is just so unlikely to matter for this character. I think we're going to recycle it. Turret is great, though. Weird Ghost, again, I'm going to... Well, let's see. So I've got 2 regen, which is very little. Wave 11 is typically pretty safe to buy Weird Ghost on, because it's just the ribcage enemies, if you have the damage to kill them. But I don't think we do, so I think we're just going to recycle this. Here I'm going to take 9 speed, because that also gives us some percent damage, and then we're going to take the bag and the propeller hat, of course. Tyler I'm grabbing as well. Starfish. So, increased material drop from enemies, obviously super strong. Especially strong because we have 2 upcoming Horde waves. 15% increased enemy damage, extremely dangerous. Starfish is an easy way to lose runs. I think this character, though, needs the economy, and... yeah, 0 items from treasure map as well. Really needs the economy, so I'm going to pick up the Starfish. I think that this will be fine, and I think we can make it work. We're going to take the Lumberjack shirt and the Weird Food. I will lock a Bean Teacher. 44 HP is fine. We don't need to spend 38 on 1 HP anymore. And Dodge we're not buying. I'll do 1 more reroll here, and I'll lock an Ice Cube, because of course that's going to increase our damage output. Metal Detector is also really good. So now we just need regeneration. Alright, maybe I could have taken the Weird Ghost. Our damage is a little better than I had sort of anticipated it would be. So, I guess I played a little too scared there. With no knockback and a weapon that's really bad at single target damage, I felt like it would be difficult to avoid tanking hits from the ribcage enemies, but we'd actually have been fine. So, could have had 3 more HP, which obviously would have been much better. Run over here and get that tree kill as well. We're still recycling decomposing flesh, and then here, 16% more damage, great. 3 regen, great. Think I still need to take the armor, though. I keep passing these level 4 damage upgrades for other stuff, for lower level upgrades, but armor's so important to us, especially because I bought Starfish. I'm going to take the Bean Teacher, Ice Cube, and Metal Detector, and then do a reroll here. A Shady Potion going into this Horde Wave as well is great, and then we're going to take a Charcoal and a Broken Mouth, and I'm going to reroll. Strange Book, obviously awesome for the Technomage. I really wish I had found leveled up planks. Our weapon levels are so poor. That's definitely the thing that is most dangerous to us. Well, that and we have weak healing as well. So once we get out of this wave, assuming we survive it intact, we should be pretty rich because we have Starfish, so we're getting extra material drops from enemies. We have Bean Teacher and Scar, so we're getting extra XP, offsetting the economy penalty that Technomage has. So this should be, hopefully, a turning point. We've kind of set up to reach a point where our character is stronger than the normal power curve, if we make it out of the Horde Wave intact. Which, thanks to our weapon, because obviously Plank is really good at fighting Horde Waves, we should. So we made 700 materials that wave, and we're benefiting from other long-term investment items like the Snowball, with finding things like the Boiling Water. We've got Metal Plate, of course, giving us extra armor. Tree is great here. Do I want 10 luck or to reroll? Could just take 2 regen also. Not a totally ridiculous thing to do. I think I am just going to take the 10 luck here, and then I'm going to reroll this, and we will take 2 more armor. All of these items are great, so I'm going to buy them all. Getting actually now a decent amount of snowball value. We're up to +5. Percent damage is important, but you can't lose attack speed on Plank. You just have to have higher attack speed, so we're going to pass on the missile. Peaceful Bee I will take, I think. Although, no, our dodge is negative, so we're never going to build dodge. Reinforced Steel I'm also going to pass on. While the engineering is good, and we do have... we also have a power generator, so I don't want to lose move speed, and it's a very expensive way to buy 3 engineering, which elemental damage matters way more than engineering to us. We'll take the Toxic Sludge, we'll reroll Improved Tools, an amazing find, obviously exactly what we're looking for. And then I'm going to reroll one more time. Okay, we finally found a Plank upgrade. This game really wants to give us decomposing flesh. Where's the baby squids? If we'd gotten a baby squid, this game would be super easy. I miss Pocket Factory every time I kill a tree. We keep getting Pocket Factory in these runs where it's not good, and I take it anyways because I love that item. But in this run, where it's like the best item we could find, Pocket Factory is nowhere to be found. Tentacle for 22 materials. How likely are we to ever get to positive crit chance? If we do get to positive crit chance, it's really good, because obviously the thing we're struggling with is regeneration. I think I will buy the Tentacle here. It's not that exciting, but it's only 22 materials, so we can maybe make it work. And then, yeah, I will buy Crit Chance. Crit Chance is good on this character regardless, so getting a Tentacle online and getting some healing from that can be a pretty powerful way to go about things. I'll take 3 elemental damage here, and then we will upgrade Planks, take a Boiling Water as well, do a reroll. Okay, so this is actually working pretty well. Do I want to mirror a Tentacle? Getting up to 3 Tentacles makes it suddenly a very good way to heal. 143 for Tentacle is a pretty poor ratio, but because it scales with itself, because it obviously having more of them gives you a higher chance to heal when you kill enemies, and of course, you're gonna critically hit and kill enemies more often thanks to the crit chance. I think it is actually worth it to mirror the Tentacle here. So we're gonna buy 2 of those, and then we'll take Corrupted Shard, Saltwater. Costs me an elemental damage. Obviously, that's painful, but we get a free reroll, and it offsets that with the melee damage. We get 3 attack speed as well, which matters both for our weapons and for our structures, thanks to improved tools. Okay, pile of books. That's great. A mushroom, great find as well. Plank, obviously, amazing. How likely am I to be able to survive a Horde wave with a Celery Tea? Celery Tea going into a Horde wave, dangerous, but powerful because we get the extra XP gain. I think we can kill enemies with planks, and because we got a leveled up plank as well, we're pretty good at killing Horde wave enemies. So I think we're safe to buy the Celery Tea there. It's a fairly late Celery Tea, but it's just because it's just to give us like 1 extra level from the Horde wave, and buying 1 level is still very valuable. This can be a tough wave for the Technomage, of course, because we have all these structures which are killing the summoners and summoning goobers everywhere, so that can overwhelm us pretty quickly. As you can see, I'm being very careful to just hunt down all of the summoners that I can find and then kill the summons as soon as they spawn, which at least is relatively easy to do because just 1 swing from our planks gets rid of the whole group. I just walked into every attack there, so let's run over here and get this consumable heal. Can we get this loot alien? Yes, got it right before the end, which is great. All right, acid will definitely take. Not, I'm going to recycle. We really don't. This item would actually be fine, but we are actually at a point where I'm not just not taking the knot. So normally I don't take this item because I dislike it. Here I'm actually also not taking it because we have a level 3 plank locked in the shop, and I think that will actually be more important. So I'm going to recycle this item as well. We'll take 15 attack speed, that's great. And then here we're going to take the pile of books. We're going to combine and buy plank. We'll buy Celery Tea. We'll reroll. I might not have taken the Celery Tea if I knew we were going to also find another Scar. And I think it is worth buying the Scar here. I'll lock the Shackles. Weird Ghost could be purchasable. We have triple Tentacle. We have really good consumable heal. I think now I am going to buy the Weird Ghost. We'll definitely take a Campfire. I don't want to increase enemy health overall, but Sunglasses is good with all the Tentacles. Alright, so we're not healing as fast as I thought we would, because it took me a long time to drop a consumable there, so the Weird Ghost actually ended up being a bad pick. I overestimated my healing from Tentacles there, so. And of course, we had Celery Tea as well. Made it more dangerous. So I had to have good movement. A lot of bad Weird Ghost decisions in this run. Just going to play very cautious in the left corner here. There's a tree over on the side of the map on the left side of the map that I do want to get, but more important that I just don't take too much damage. As the wave is ending, I'm going to run over here and pick up at least some of those materials, though we still left 300 on the ground. I'm going to take the metal here. Fin is worth grabbing. Losing the luck is painful, but the move speed is really good. I'm missile. I've got 56 attack speed. I think I do want to take the missile here. Dynamite's great. Now I think I actually do take the range, because it is, as mentioned, good for flanks, and our damage is fine. I just want to make sure I'm actually applying it. We'll take some luck here. We will take the shackles first, and then the campfire, of course, so that I cap my move speed slightly higher. This still works fine with power generator. Any move speed we get over cap is still going to give us extra damage. And then we're going to reroll here. Okay, level 4 plank and a medical turret is actually a huge find as well. We'll take the plank here, and Terrified Onion gets me back to 27%. It also buys 4 damage. Probably worth it, even at the cost of the luck. And then these 2 items are great as well. Weird run, a couple bad shopping decisions with regard to Weird Ghost. And definitely getting greedier than we needed to with all of the XP gain items and the starfish and everything. Gotta kill these buffing aliens, they hit really hard. We also, despite being tagged with structures, Technomage is more likely to find structures in the shops, have found very few. We've got 3 level 1 turrets, no higher level turrets of any kind except the Tyler, which obviously is really good, but higher level turrets or a pocket factory would go so far for this character, because our damage from those effects is really good, because our structure attack speed is 200%. So if we could find those, it would be amazing. Eye Patch does work with turrets, and it gives us 3% crit chance, or does work with Pile of Books, and it gives us 3% crit chance as well. So I'm going to take that. We'll take Boiling Water. Here, I'm going to reroll. I think I'm looking for more regeneration or armor. I think we'll take 4 regen. I really want to boost my healing still. I'm not going to take the Peacock. That's too greedy even for me. Let's reroll here. We're, I think, going to do another late Spyglass purchase. This has ended up being a really high economy run. The range is relevant to this build. And as I have previously mentioned, I've found that Spyglass on like wave 16 exactly ends up being a pretty good item. Lost Duck costs me elemental damage, so I don't want that. Scar, it's a little too late for. We don't need a second starfish. We'll take Book and Little Muscly Dude. Robot Arm. Cost me an HP, but both of these are very relevant stats, so we're going to take it, and then I'll do a reroll. I'll lock a coffee. Blindfold, we have negative dodge, but the crit chance is still really good for us, so we're going to go ahead and lock that. Oh, yeah, also I should buy this plank. I came very close to just rolling past that. So our damage with the Ice Cube debuff especially is really good, so we should be able to kill this elite very comfortably. Getting the robot arm a couple waves earlier would have been nice, but still 9 engineering and 9 melee damage for minus 3 HP is definitely worth what we're spending on it. Terrified Onion, that's 4 damage for minus 5 luck. I think I'm just going to recycle that. Bloody Hand, we have Triangle of Power, so we can't buy the Bloody Hand. It also just isn't that good for us, so we're going to recycle it regardless. Here I'm going to take probably just the HP. We actually just don't need that much more damage. And I just really don't want to get popped in one attack. Book, of course, we're going to grab. Fuel Tank I will still take, of course. Alien Magic is great as well. and black belt. It's 6 melee damage, so I think that's worth grabbing just because it's cursed. Weird food and mushroom we're very happy to pick up as well. Definitely a little disappointing not to find Pocket Factory, because this is like the best possible Pocket Factory setup. We've got multiple trees, we've got piercing shots, we've got absurd structure attack speed, so Pocket Factory would have been a really good find for us. As would like an explosive turret or an incendiary turret, or even just a couple more normal turrets. But starting the run off with a landmines was really good, especially because we're an explosive weapon. Yep, we'll take additional elemental damage here. We will take some more HP. We'll take more elemental damage and crit chance. That's perfect. I'm going to take the armor over the engineering. The engineering's fine, of course, but 2 armor matters way more to us at this point. And then here we get to buy a bunch of healing, which is awesome. That really helps lock things down for us going into the boss fight. With 20 regen, we can actually take a hit and then still survive, most likely. Take the coffee here. Mammoth, I'm definitely taking. Alien Worm. Our consumable heal is amazing, so I'm going to pick that up as well. And then, yeah, I'll take a tree and a jerky. Again, these can just help make sure that we are not in danger in the final wave. A nice crate as well. And we'll pick up metal plate. More explosion damage from the dynamite is awesome. More regen, again, helps just lock things down. Bait is going to be good. It'll help us kill the bosses faster. We won't take 4 hits off the bait for Triangle of Power. So there's a consideration for not taking bait because we might take an extra hit and it'll cost us some triangle damage. But we're unlikely to take 4 hits off of those lampreys. Having more enemies on the field means more consumables. Of course, more things to splash explosions off of onto the boss. And just more damage to kill the bosses faster. We'll take these items as well. And then roll. Mouse, I'm going to pick this up also because, again, more enemies in the last wave is just more things that can drop consumables. And then here, we've got the plank. The mouse has ended up kind of costing us here because this is a very marginal upgrade, whereas all of these would be amazing upgrades. So 25, that's 170, 181. So I have to sell a level 3 plank to get the cursed one. That's, of course, worth it, but would have been nicer not to have to do that. But the cursed plank is really good. And let's go and fight the bosses. Should be able to kill these quite rapidly, I would say. I did waste my ice cube debuff on the octopus head boss. Because I hit him with some elemental damage, or maybe he walked into the Tyler, and then I just let the debuff expire without attacking him. But still a very efficient way to win the game. So, one close call when I bought a weird ghost that I definitely shouldn't have. But other than that, this was a very smooth run. Honestly, went way better than I was expecting. I thought that this weapon would be a little harder for this character. Starting with the landmines helped a ton. The early bags also obviously went off, so definitely, I think this was a slightly over par run. We got a little luckier in the shops than you normally would, but we still managed to get through a fairly challenging character with a random weapon. Snowball gave us 12 elemental damage, so this snowball was good. It took a long time to pay off, but when it did, it started paying off really well. All these coffees, obviously amazing for our very attack speed dependent weapon. 360 materials off coupon, 735 off bags, 6 items from the treasure map. So even though I complained about it in the mid game, it did end up paying off pretty effectively. I was very happy with the Triangle of Power. We got a lot of extra damage out of it and some armor. It did prevent us from taking Bloody Hand, but that really wasn't a huge cost for this build anyways. The Starfish worked out great. After we bought it, only on that one wave did it really end up being dangerous. And Starfish, of course, is a lot easier to buy when you're going into Horde waves rather than into Elite waves, because the 15% damage from the Horde aliens doesn't matter as much. 15% damage from Elites can be lethal very easily. 287 materials from these metal detectors. That's great. The Strange Book, of course, was awesome. 50 engineering from that. Only 70 healing from the tentacles is quite low. I was expecting more, and you saw there that I was taken by surprise when I bought this weird ghost, and then the tentacle healing was just so marginal in that wave. I really expected it to be more efficient for us, though we didn't have amazing crit chance, but still, usually tentacle heals a little more. The medical turret didn't end up mattering that much, but it's nice insurance. Spyglass didn't work out. So in this case, buying it on Wave 16 ended up being bad. We just didn't reroll enough to get a discount out of it. So even the Wave 16 Spyglass, I think, is still just not that solid an item, though it is fun that you can get a little more value out of it by buying it in a counterintuitive way. Robot Arm was great, and yep, pretty much that's it. All right, my friends, I hope that you enjoyed that run. And of course, if you have, feel free to leave a comment and hit that like button. Helps me out with the algorithm, so I appreciate you taking the time to do that. And of course, you can subscribe to my channel for more Brotato and other strategy game analysis. Only 9 classes to go. Let's see if we can get there.